The greatest misconception of this world is the existence of mind, and even greater misconception is mind is part of or associated with your brain. Well, both the statements are not true. But I know after listening these two statements, your expression and your response would be something like this. So hello guys, once again welcome back to this amazing platform, and in today's video I will tell you that mind is really the part of brain or not. We will clear this confusion today. So let's start the session without wasting a single minute. Well, I know the kind of learning you have been given. Based on that, many of you believe that mind is just a synonym of brain. And some of you possibly believe that both are separate entities. But essentially mind is somehow linked with brain. But fact is not like that, my dear. It is completely different, and that will shock you. Anyway, here I have raised two questions. So let's deal with one by one. So I start with the question that is, does mind really exist? As I already said that its answer is a big no. Yes. So I start with the next question, that is how? Unlike brain, mind has no physical existence. So I can say it as an abstract entity which has no physical existence in reality. So you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot smell it, etc. All the sensory function. Now even if it is an abstract entity, you might be thinking, still it exists in invisible form as air exists in invisible form. But again, not true it is. Well, don't get confused. In order to understand it, let's first understand what is mind actually. So mind, you can say it is your overall learning that you learn over period in time through your different sensory organs. And you can also call it your intellect in more simple language. Now, here you need to pay attention that your learning is not only done by your eyes, but rather by all sensory organs, including your skin, your nose, your ear, your tongue, and of course your eyes too. Likewise, you can say mind, which is actually your intellect, is overall experience of your life, which inseparably remains associated with your all sensory organs in the form of memory. Exactly, that is memory. Which inseparably remains associated with your all sensory organs in the form of memory. Exactly, that is memory. So based on this memory, you recall something, you analyze some information, or you create something new, and then you produce some or another form of a new information. Completely new, believe me. So you can say that it is data and information that you collect time to time and store it in your respective sensory organ in very classified manner so that you can use it easily whenever required. In addition to this, the mind, which is non-material, has a spiritual dimension that include consciousness and possibly an eternal attribute. This is the reason that you can identify anything about which you have the prior learning or exposure by simply seeing it, or by touching it, or by smelling it, or by listening it. I mean, depending on the situation and type of information you need identify. Now just think, if you don't have to exposure with any such item or information, you can say, will you able to recognize that based on your mind? Think and reply in the comment box. That's really a serious question. So the conclusion is, as such, mind is not a separate entity, but rather it is the collective name given to your overall learning, memory, and your intellect. Or in other words, one term for all these different terms. Yes, mind. Now the next question is mind really associated with or part of the brain? If you have understood the above discussion clearly, then you can answer this question. Anyway, answer is again a big no. Now again, many of you have such expression, but don't worry, I will tell you. We have discussed above. Mind is collective name of your learning, memory and intellect, isn't it? I mean, if everything is related to your brain, then you won't able to identify anything through your other sensory organs, such as by listening, by touching, and even by tasting. But matter is not like that. है कि नहीं? It's completely different. So my dear, your mind is associated with your all sensory organs in the form of memory and not essentially or exclusively with your brain only. I know it is little confusing, but watch it 2 or 3 times, you will understand it better. So this is all for today's video, but don't go away, don't go away. I know many of you are still confused with it. So in my next video, I will be discussing the difference between the brain and mind, which will clear your all doubts. However, for now, bye-bye.